I've always been a strong believer in the paranormal since I was little, so I was quite prepared for anything that would happen in the future. My first experience would have been when I was 11 and on holiday with a friend from school and her family and friends. We stayed in a small cottage in Devon in the countryside, surrounded by rolling fields and a little stream that ran along the front of the property. Oh, gorgeous.
Oh my God, stunning.
No other buildings were near the cottage for miles, so it was just us. Even the owners of the cottage lived approximately 2 miles away down a country lane. The first day we arrived, my friend and I decided it would be fun to try and do a Ouija board in every room of the house. So off we went into each room with a shoddy Ouija board and a glass, but got no answer every time we used it. So we put it away and forgot about it. Didn't tell anyone that we'd used it as we didn't want to anger the adults at the time. That night, we're all settled down in the living room watching TV. It hits around 9 p.m. and we decide to put on a film. And due to mine and my friend's love for horror, we put on American Haunting to watch. Now, all together on this trip, there were 6 people and 4 dogs, every single person being accounted for in this living space. We press play on the DVD and get 5 minutes into the intro of the film, and both myself and my friend jerk our heads towards the direction of a sound coming from upstairs. Her mum pauses the TV and the room falls silent. I watch as her father scans over everyone in the room, obviously counting heads and making sure that everyone's present. All the while, we can hear a childlike running between the rooms above us. Then it stops. We all glance at each other and slowly turn our heads back to the TV, and just as her mum is about to resume the film, we hear the loudest footsteps charging down the old wooden staircase. We all stand in a panic and turn to the open living room door that we could all see a clear view of the stairwell from. Whatever ran down the stairs would be there, we were certain, but nothing. No one was there. That night, my friend and I shared a bed because we were too afraid to be on our own, even wearing swimming costumes when bathing so we didn't have to be by ourselves in the bath. The following day, we were coming back to the cottage after going horse riding, which is my friend's favourite thing. And we get back to the cottage where we'd left her parents' friends. They'd been there alone while we were out. The man of the pair had been asleep while we were out as he had a debilitating migraine and was sleeping it off while his wife was in the living room. When we stepped through the door, however, he was awake and consoling her out of a panic attack, tears streaming down her face. He said to us, "I was dead asleep and hear a massive bang from upstairs. It sounded like one of the old oak wardrobes hitting the ground. I ran up there and everything was normal. It scared her so much I can't calm her down." After that, nothing else happened. That was my first experience. Let's fast forward now to when I was 17. Cousin was getting married and my grandfather and his wife was attending the wedding in Iceland, but needed someone to mind the house and their dog for a week while they were away. So I offered. First night I'm there, however, I'm sat downstairs, literally wearing my pants and a vest, watching TV, and I need a wee. Their dog, Taz, was fast asleep behind me, so I got up quietly and went upstairs to go piss. Now, I want to give you a quick rundown of the layout so you understand what my brain went through. My grandpa's house, Bamps, she calls him. My Bamps house was an end terrace house and the toilet was in a separate room to the bathroom. Almost like a little airing cupboard sized room just for a toilet, and it was at the top of the stairs.
I can picture that.
You go up the flight of stairs, there's a little space and another step to the right to get to the landing, then the toilet is on the left. Also, this side of the house is the area that has no house on the other side of it. I know it's long-winded and confusing, but it does matter. My Bamps' dog would like to sit at that space at the top of the stairs before that step if you were up there. And if you were on the toilet, he'd wait by the door. So I go to the toilet, sit down, and hear the many footsteps of 4 feet running up the stairs. So knowing he was going to be at the door, I got my phone out, opened the door to snap a funny photo of him peering at me while I pissed, but he didn't show up. So I thought he may just be on the stairs. I finish up and go check at him on the stairs, but there's no dog in sight. So I think maybe he's in one of the bedrooms. Nope, not there either. At this point, I can feel my heart pounding in my chest. I walk down the stairs and peer into the living room where I just was. And there he was, still curled up on the back of the sofa, fast asleep, and hadn't moved from when I'd left before. I immediately panicked, thinking someone's broken in, and the mental image of a human running up and down the stairs on all fours. Ugh. I rush into the kitchen and grab a knife and search every room in that house with my back to the walls and my phone in my hand, ready to call someone. That is smart. Nobody there again. Every room was empty, not a sign of a person. I had to call my friend to stay with me for the rest of the week. She arrived at my grandpa's while I'm sat on the sofa having a panic attack, clutching a kitchen knife and staring at the doorway, determined to protect this little Bichon Frise from anything. Did eventually tell my grandpa about this, and he looked relieved and told me it was probably Patch. He's buried in the garden, remember? I occasionally ask him to give me a sign, and he hasn't yet. I'm glad he was here looking after you. Patch was my grandfather's dog from when my dad was my age. That was the most terrifying thing I'd experienced by myself.